Nobody liked him.
Bowler.
Wasim Akram by a mile. So one guy who I felt if I walked out to bat after scoring 400, he would put me in some trouble, and it was Wasim Akram, special.
Brilliant in the field as well, and what won the World Cup was him. Never forgetting bowling Alan Lamb, and he bowled Lewis with balls that just swung that far at night. But you've got to have the ability to do that, and he was one of the all-time greats, and I think that put him on the world stage as one of the all-time great bowlers.
Absolutely magnificent delivery, as near as to unplayable as you can possibly get.
The greatest left-arm bowler of all time, Wasim Akram from Pakistan. He simply transformed the ability to swing the ball.
He's the cricketer I'd like to come back as, if I had another go at it. You know, being 6'4" and running in bowling real good pace, and being able to field as well.
Oh, here's trouble.
And also being able to handle the bat.
Well, here's a big swing at this one. He's got it clear of the field. It's 4 runs.
Wasim, immensely talented, easily the best left armer one has ever seen. I think the cricketer of the last decade, without a shadow of doubt. I know there's Tendulkar, there's Lara, there's the likes of Steve Waugh and Shane Warne, but I think Wasim Akram for me is the cricketer of the 1990s.
15-yard run-up, almost unheard of, and the control of seaman swing, quite remarkable.
Swing the ball both ways at really lively pace, bowled a great bouncer, hard to pick because he used a very fast arm, whether it was up there or down here, very fast, so not easy to pick. He'd be right up there. I'd have to think a long time to think of a better left-arm seamer than him.
Outstanding ability, you know, he's a captain's delight. He can bowl round the wicket, he can bowl over the wicket, he can get the ball into the right-handers, he can reverse swing an old ball, he can bowl yorkers at will, bounces at will, always aggressive.
Wasim, obviously, I mean, he's an exceptionally talented all-rounder who can change the game with his bat and also with the ball.
Pair of sand shoes on, was very thin and ran off about 15 paces. And the thing that struck us all in that game was he was a 16-year-old. Where did he come from, and how can he get the ball through so quickly with such apparent little effort?
And John Wright is out. Well caught in the gully. Wasim Akram.
Test match, and from that point on he was under the tutelage, under the leadership of Imran Khan, and learning everything he could from that great master.
Obviously, Imran Bhai
play in Pakistan, as we know. We can't comprehend what it's like until you've visited that country and see what the people are like. And these cricket players are national heroes. They're like we would have, I don't know, pop stars or footballers at the highest pedigree. That's what their cricketers are like. As soon as they go out into public areas, they are mobbed, completely and utterly surrounded by adoring people. To work with Akram at Old Trafford as coach of Lancashire, he was overseas player, and it might be my fault, but I made him captain as well. I could see this guy as a natural leader, and the Lancashire players had a nickname for him, and they just called him King. We'll follow you anywhere. He had a magnificent team meeting, the first time he was captain, and we're out there doing the prelims and a bit of catching here and there and warming up generally. And he said to me, "Get team in dressing room, I want to talk to team." So I'll go, everybody in, dressing room, everybody in, sit down, right captain, over to you. And his only words were, "Come on, I have dream." And he just left it at that, and there's that sort of pause, and I've gone, right then, well, come on. And out they went, and they'd follow him anywhere, and he was a great leader.
At Lancashire, they almost regard Wasim as one of their own, really. He was one of those handful of overseas players in English county history who've completely bonded with the county. It would be hard to imagine him playing for another county.
Playing for Lancashire
Had made a reasonable fist of making or setting a target for England to chase, but it was the final flurry from Wasim that was the icing on the cake, if you like. It changed a scoreline from, say, 220 to 250.
Hit that straight, that could be 4 more. The run-off coming around won't get it. Superb stroke.
and then came back in the middle order and knocked over Alan Lamb and then Chris Lewis with 2 fantastic deliveries.
What a great delivery, left arm round the wicket. Alan Lamb has been cleaned up. Subtract Lewis from that list. Wasim Akram is on a hat-trick.
Yeah, it's 2 of the best balls that you ever want to see, and particularly the World Cup final. You know, there's no bigger moment to produce your best, and he was capable of doing that.
This was one of the great match-winning performances you've ever seen. Pakistan could easily have tried to contain England at the time. Well, Imran and Wasim Akram didn't do that. They decided to bowl them out.
Every you know, strange cycle of the moon, don't they? But when he's been in charge, they've been a very competitive unit.
He's been captain of Pakistan 3 or 4 times. It depends who's in charge in the administration as to who they pick as their captain.
You win some, you lose some.
Wasim's character is that, you know, regardless of all the innuendo, and he's maintained his innocence throughout, that he's been able to maintain such a high level of play. And
The whole match-fixing thing is a shame, and Wasim Akram has been sort of involved and tainted by that to some degree, but he's managed to keep his focus and keep playing good cricket.
He will win you a game, and those kind of players aren't around too frequently these days.
There may still be some more stories to tell.
Over a long time. He's played for 15 years, 16 years, and performed exceptionally well, and he's still as good as ever.
He was well, he still is. I mean, he still is a terrific performer, world-class performer, and in his rightful place, as you say, as one of the best 25 of all time.
I would never change it.